next month, kind of my last things that I'm doing at AFSC Arizona have to do with what some of you know as Reframing Justice Day. A lot of you have been part of this workshop for a couple of years now. And we at AFSC Arizona have a lobbying day. This will be the third in a row where folks go to the Capitol. We won't be going to the Capitol this year, not a big group, obviously, for obvious reasons. We'll be doing things virtually, but it's where directly impacted people, families, formerly incarcerated people, all go to the Capitol and talk to state lawmakers about a number of things. AFSC has been really pushing for sentencing reform the last couple of years. Reducing the collateral consequences of a conviction history. As I mentioned last month, they'll be working on getting rid of the felony murder law in Arizona. And so I'm really excited to help them get that kicked off. And I wanted to share with y'all one of the campaigns that they have going, because you don't have to be somebody who's directly impacted by the system to participate. I'm going to share with y'all my screen here real quick. Okay, so this is, and I'll put this in the chat, the link for you all. This is the Reframing Justice postcard generator. Let me put this in the chat for you. Well, I'll do it when I go back. And what it is here is you can tell lawmakers why sentencing reform matters to you. And this year, as with everything else, Reframing Justice Day at the Capitol is virtual. And what we've implemented here is a Google form for you to enter in all your information. And so I'll just kind of show you how this works here. So you enter that information and you get to create a postcard that's going to go directly to state lawmakers on both the House Criminal Justice Reform Committee. They actually created a Criminal Justice Reform Committee, which implies that there's actually going to be some criminal justice reform at the state legislature this year. We'll see. And it will go to both the House and Senate Judiciary Committees at the state level. Those folks are typically the ones who hear various bills when it comes to the criminal justice system. So you enter in, where you live, and then you finish the sentence. I support sentencing reform because, and hopefully by now, those of you have a good idea. Those of you who've especially been here, part of this group for a couple of years, have a good idea of why you do support sentencing reform. But if you don't, we even provide little sample language to help you figure out what it is that you want to say. And not all of it, again, you don't have to be directly impacted by the system to offer that. And so you offer up this information. You can choose to print your email address on the postcard so that lawmakers can follow up with you. If you're one of their constituents, they can maybe follow up with you by email to get more details from you. So that's the Reframing Justice postcard generator. I hope that you all take an opportunity to fill it out. It is at no cost to you. AFSC Arizona pays for all the postage. And you can get your whole family, your friends to fill this out. So please share this on your social media networks, share it in an email with folks, whatever you possibly can.
Can only people in Arizona fill it out?
Yeah, it is only for folks in Arizona, since it's going to state lawmakers, and we want them to know that these are their constituents. They're not likely to listen to somebody who lives in Texas or California or wherever. They want to hear from their constituents. So Russ, it has been an ad hoc committee in the past. Like last year, thanks for that question. It was an ad hoc committee, but this year it's a standing committee. Whether or not it's a standing committee going forward, we'll see. But this one actually this year will be deciding on what bills actually go to the full House floor. So yeah, it's a real committee this year. Anybody have any questions about the postcard generator?
Joe, will you include that in your summary?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I also included the website in the chat. If y'all want to grab it, maybe put it in your bookmarks, whatever. I would like to give the floor to Elizabeth. She wanted to share some writing from one of her incarcerated friends. I believe she's writing to multiple folks. So feel free to take it away, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. I've been corresponding with Joseph since the summer. He's really, I guess the word character is the best descriptor for him. I just feel so. I feel like because I work with people on their writing on a regular basis, that I have it within me to take writing not terrific and respond in a positive way, but I haven't had to do that with Joseph. I just find his writing remarkable, and he writes in all kinds of genres and is just such an interesting person. We have conversations about politics, and it's just been a great blessing for me to have found Joseph after, some of you know, many months of struggling to find a partner who would correspond on a regular basis. So I'm just really grateful. I'm going to read a poem he wrote that's called Where I'm From. And for any of you who teach writing, this is not an atypical prompt. It tends to bring out some really great things from writers of all stripes, and that's I believe he took a writing course and was given this prompt. I'm going to go with the language that he uses, and I am sorry if that's offensive to any of you, but it just seems important for me to convey what he has to say in the way that he has to say. I'm from the land of missed opportunities and broken promises, low expectations and high murder rates. I live in the house right next to the alley where the dumpster was, where Brenda dumped her baby. For years, I thought that was the sound of cats howling at the night. I'm from where, when you're born, you're given a birth certificate and a death certificate, where young Black men leave behind broken hearts and beautiful corpses. I'm where it's not safe to DWB, that's driving while black. WWB, walking while black. Shit, it's not safe to LWB, living while black. I'm from the town where reaching for your wallet will be a 41 gun salute, where you're a suspect even when no crime has been committed. I'm from where the resounding reverberations of ricocheting bullets always seem to miss the target and pierce some tender young flesh, where the song that mothers sing has the same heartfelt plea to a God that even after baby Shakia took that bullet in the head while watching Saturday morning cartoons and eating a bowl of soggy Fruit Loops, always seemed to fall into the abyss of nothingness. No, God, not my baby. Why, God? I'm from where grandmothers dress up in their finest outfits with their hats brimming with all kinds of flowers to praise a God they don't know. I'm from where I can read scriptures from the Bible tattooed on the inside forearms of young Black men whose life expectancy is 18, and if they make it to 21, shit, cause for celebration. I'm from where there are 2 liquor stores on every corner and no ID is ever needed to purchase any of their forget-me spells in a bottle. I'm from where hard times is the brutal reality of our daily existence and Good Times was just a TV show about the ever-present, bleak, and catastrophic everyday events of my present being. Milk and honey? Shit. I'm from the land of grit and grime, guns and crime, where a black man's lottery is a motherfucking robbery. I'm from where the elevator never works, so I gotta walk up 10 flights of stairs and jump over piss puddles, and where I can read the real daily news. Tracy in apartment 4B is a slut, but Tracy is only 13. Damn. I'm from lost childhoods, shattered dreams, stolen innocence, and living nightmares. And yet I still rose, that black rose, through the cracks you attempted to seal up with your modernized racism, systematic exclusion, and your blatant fake inclusion of all. I'm from Martin's neighborhood, Malcolm's neighborhood, Huey P. Newton's hood, and I used to play with Barack, Mr. President, to you. You really want to know where I'm from? I'm from every neighborhood across the United Snakes of America. Mainly, I'm from the hood you created with your hate and false superiority claims of dominance over me and mine. I'm from where the boogeyman is real. I'm from your America.
Wow. That is really right on, right on.
Wow, Elizabeth, you ought to consider trying to get that published somewhere.
Yeah, we're in the midst of communicating about that right now. Joseph and I, not this specific piece, but he is interested in being published.
Mhm.
So,
Where would you have it published?
you know, Carol, I'm at square one on that. That's going to take some research on my part. Some of you know that this has been my last semester of teaching at U of A. I'm next year I'll have a research and service leave, and then I'll be retiring a year from now. And so time will be opening up for me, and I'll have more time and invest in doing that kind of research. I also wanted to share a little bit of news. I stumbled upon a contact with a guy at the juvenile court system who's interested in better serving 8 to 10-year-old children who are court involved. And so we've been having communication about that. I've been doing a lot of reading on trauma-informed pedagogy, on restorative justice, on all the different ways I can imagine of serving those children. That age group they're my people. And so I'm hoping to move forward with him on that. He appreciates my 30,000 foot view of the situation, which means that like every other week I'm like, we should do this. I've been reading about that. We need to do this. So I know that it won't be what I would love it to be in my dreams, but you know, I think there's a chance that we might be able to do something to better serve kids. And if I have anything to say about it, it will be involving those kids in deciding what it is they need and how we can best help them.
Yeah, good.
I was just going to jump in and say about it wouldn't be a printed published piece, but I reached out to the Marshall Project, and they're interested in printing or publishing a piece from one of the people I work with, and they pay $100 per article. It's more like essays and expository writing, but it might be worth reaching out to them.
What's the name of it?
Thank you.
The Marshall Project.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, they do a lot of like they people who are incarcerated to report the news.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think, Ellen, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be the Life Inside project that they can get your incarcerated friend published in. I'm going to share that with y'all real quick. I don't know for sure, but here is the Life Inside project between the Marshall Project and Vice, and so what they do here is get a lot of different folks from around the country published. I believe I've shared the Marshall Project with y'all in the past. It's it's a pretty amazing website. I'm not even sure if they're printing or anything like that. I doubt it, but the writing here is,
Yeah, I think
is
that's
fantastic. Yeah, and they have been paying folks on the inside to share, what life inside is like for a long time, several years now. The Marshall Project was founded by, and I believe the executive editor is still a guy named Bill Keller, who used to be the executive editor of the New York Times in the 90s and early 2000s. So. That was amazing, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for sharing that. It was incredibly powerful, and I really appreciate you offering that up.
Thank you for offering some time for me to do that. Joseph was very excited about me reading something, although he said he wished that you could hear it in his own voice.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
For sure.
Elizabeth, do you think Joseph would let you send that to us? Because I think the person I write would be very interested in reading that.
Yeah, me too.
So you'd probably need his permission first, for sure. But if you could ask that, that would be terrific.
I will.
It's actually, I'm sorry. It's actually a prompt that I've used frequently, and it would be helpful to have another example from someone on the inside.
Yeah.
He's
I
very
recommend it.
capital letters and exclamation points, so you'll see.
I'll offer up real quick. I just put a couple of websites in the chat: Prison Legal News and Criminal Legal News. They both do a lot of. It's the same organization. It's under the umbrella of the Human Rights Defense Center, which is currently based out of Florida, but much of their news content. Now, this is a publication that goes. Both of these are publications that go into prisons across the country, and a lot of the content. And I know because I wrote for them when I was incarcerated. They have a lot of content about the death penalty, about capital punishment, about things like, Arizona, for instance, illegally getting execution drugs, third party, all sorts of information like that I think probably would be useful to anybody writing about the death penalty or corresponding with somebody inside who wants to offer up that creative work to, I believe it's Sarah Zales' project. So I don't know how many of you are working with Sarah to get that done, but I know that Criminal Legal News and Prison Legal News are really good sources.
So the woman I write with, her name's Elizabeth, and she's serving life without the possibility of parole. And she has this idea for kind of like a support program. She calls it the Canoe Project of, people on the outside aligning their interests with people on the inside to provide kind of like a community of support as they transition into the real world and stuff. And she sent me this whole brief about like the goals and how it would happen and stuff. And I want to help. Like, I have no experience with grant making or public initiatives or anything. Like, is there anywhere that would be like a good first step to look into helping her make this a reality? I know it's a lot.
I think that there are certainly lots of foundations out there that want to fund that kind of work. I mean, everything from the Ford Foundation and the Art for Justice Project to Open Society.
Mhm.
I think that there's lots of opportunity to get funding for something like that to implement
Mhm.
on the inside. And honestly, Ellen, I'm sorry, I think there's probably way too many for me to link to or mention here, but I certainly think that it could be a good thing that we exchange over email amongst the rest of the group. Any thoughts that the rest of y'all have, ideas that you could contribute? Sorry, I'm always partly distracted by the dog because I don't know what he's tearing apart right now.
No, so I'm at the park with my kids, so I'm in the same boat.
But yeah, so I think it's probably something that we probably should correspond about,
Okay.
and maybe start a thread about different opportunities.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Sounds amazing, by the way.
Yeah, she's just really brilliant.
Wonderful. All right. Yeah. Hi, Nancy. Go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to recommend to everybody to pop in and listen to a local podcast put out by Nate McCowan. It's called Handcuffed to Freedom. I may have mentioned it previously. In particular, his recent podcast hosts Eric Toso, and the topic is how creative writing leads to freedom. You can also become a patron supporter for this podcast by through Patreon. And if you go to listen to it, you'll get emails and you'll be supporting someone local as well.
What's his name again?
Nate McCowan, and the podcast is Handcuffed to Freedom.
Okay. So with that, I am going to send y'all into some breakout groups. And what I'm asking for y'all to talk about today, 2020 has been it's been a year. Let's put it that way. And I think that what might get going for prompts with your incarcerated friends is something that we did at AFSC Arizona this week. We had virtual cocoa by the fire with each other, basically. And we talked about our roses and thorns for the year. Certainly there were a long list of terrible things that happened in 2020, but I think it's important, especially for folks on the inside, that without being Pollyannish, we all are able to express gratitude for some things that are happening in our respective worlds that we can share with folks inside. And I hope that you all can talk about how to broach that with people on the inside, because part of you, hi Aaron, great, okay. It's delicate. How much happiness do you want to share with somebody inside? And also, how much do you want to complain considering where they are, right? Yeah. And so I hope that you can all share your maybe previous experiences talking about your world with your incarcerated friends and offer feedback on how to start that conversation. So if y'all...
Joe, I
Yes,
had a question that's kind of off what you're leading us into our breakout. So maybe I'll just send you an email.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Sounds good. So I'm going to send y'all into the breakout. If you need like 60 seconds, go grab yourself something to drink or use the bathroom, whatever. It's going to take me that long. Today, the breakout rooms are going to be random. So whomever you might have been paired up with in the past might not happen again this time because, hey, I don't have an agenda this month. So I will send you all in the breakout groups.
What a good idea.
Great.
Here we go. Next month is Saturday, January 23rd, 11 a.m. We should be much more on track and more have more structure next month. I really enjoyed, to be honest with you, this month though. Enjoyed just kind of having people talk and ask questions and do whatever they want. I'm sure y'all enjoyed not listening to me drone on for 45 minutes. So, you know, it seems like the appropriate time of the year to just tell you all how grateful I am for all of you and your contributions to people who are incarcerated and your willingness to just come with an open mind and an open heart to this. I ask that if you can, you know, make sure that you mention this project to your friends. And I would like to make our group, add some diversity to our group. So, you know, friends who are persons of color, friends who have been impacted by the system, please invite them. Because it's not just for the sake of diversity. It's as you all have, well, not all of you, but I know some of you have experienced, folks on the inside want to be able to correspond with somebody that they believe can relate to what's going on with them. And obviously the folks who are inside are disproportionately people of color or folks from other marginalized communities. So anyway, I really do. You folks are an amazing group of people. I did not really expect our group to continue to grow, and especially during this pandemic. But you all keep coming, and yeah, I'm so thankful. Thank you, Elizabeth. So happy holidays to you all. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Hopefully we're all about to be inoculated. And you know,
in a couple of months, maybe.
in a couple months. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
You need to stay vigilant for at least another 30 days.
Oh, at least. Absolutely.
Another
at
year,
least.
I think, yeah.
Oh
Well,
gosh,
no.
don't say that.
Just
Most
vigilant,
of us
just
will
mindful,
fit
just
one seat.
mindful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you for
y'all.
everything, Joe, and just
thank
like
you.
Oh,
Thank
real
you,
quick.
Joe.
Also, no mail call next week. Tyler wanted me to let everyone know there will be no mail call. The Poetry Center will be closed, so it's going to be a couple weeks before you get any mail,
All right.
if you're having it sent to the Poetry Center.
Thank you, Joe, too, for all
Thank
your
you.
work.
You bet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everything.
Thank you all.
Here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Yes, stay well.